Talent?
Grandpa's car. She crashed it.
Or luck?
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Talent? Or luck? Oh, look, a nickel. Talent?
Every time we say goodbye, baby, it hurts.
Or luck?
Hi. I brought you these.
Which is more important? What can you do if you've chosen a career path where success is more dependent on luck? And will this video just be a never-ending series of questions?
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Okay, so quick disclaimer. If you're watching this, it means you have an internet connection, probably a phone or tablet of some kind, probably a roof over your head, you know where your next meal's coming from, and you might even have a few people who care very deeply about you. Congratulations, you're lucky. Quicker disclaimer. Success in life looks different for everybody, and it should. What I want to talk about and what I'm most interested in is professional career path choices and what, if anything, us creatives can do if our uncle wasn't Francis Ford Coppola.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Okay, so as far as I can tell, success in your adult life, professionally, comes down to two different things. Let's call one your talent quotient, or TQ. This is made up of things like general aptitude and skill, work ethic, and things like the ability to learn. Let's make this blue. It also comes down to your luck quotient, or LQ. And this is made up of things like being in the right place at the right time and who you know, your network. Let's make this a scary red. Now, is skill and aptitude in part genetic? Of course. And could a strong work ethic possibly put you into the path of the right person at the right time? Of course. It's complicated, just let me use my markers and pipe down. The big thing here is that these things seem as though they are in our control, while these things seem like they're not in our control. We feel like we can make these things happen, while these things seem to happen to us. Well, maybe not to all of us. More on that later. Okay, now with this in mind, let's look at the spectrum of career choices, or SOCC.
Okay, stop doing that.
We'll let the y-axis measure the general amount of success. I knew I would use high school math one day. The x-axis will identify the job in question. So let's write down some jobs. Now you may be noticing something here, or maybe not. Maybe that's why you clicked on this video. As you move in this direction, something interesting happens, or depressing. It's not that the role of talent necessarily decreases, it's that its value decreases. Let's do a few examples so you can see what I mean. Tiger Woods, greatest golfer of all time. On the far left of the spectrum here, where talent is literally everything, he rose to stardom purely based on skill. Again, was he lucky to be born with amazing Mozart-level golf talent? Sure. And was he lucky to be given access to golf instruction in junior golf events as a child? Sure. But over here, luck is much harder to quantify and essentially amounts to a rounding error. But his TQ is off the charts. He has a Tiger Woods level TQ, and over on this side of the spectrum, that's all that matters. He can, or could, reliably get the ball in the hole in fewer shots than anyone. He's the best. The end. Put a green jacket on him 5 times. Slightly farther right, we have something like a doctor. Now, no doctor I've ever met had to be discovered doing surgery at an open mic surgery night. You have incredible aptitude in medicine, a strong work ethic, and you want to be a doctor. I bet you're gonna be a doctor.
I introduce you as doctor?
Yeah.
All right, that's all I wanted to know.
You know your friend Bill the accountant? He was really good at accounting. He wanted to be an accountant. Now they call him Bill the accountant. You get the idea. Let's work our way over to the center, where we find business/entrepreneurial, obviously encompassing a lot of different things here. But in this area of the spectrum, while talent is still valued quite high, the value of luck also starts playing a good-sized role. There's a more symbiotic relationship here. See, I knew I would use high school science one day too. Someone like Jeff Bezos obviously has a Tiger Woods level TQ in business and operational ingenuity and an extreme work ethic, but here that only gets you so far. He also got hundreds of thousands of dollars from his parents as startup money for Amazon and was in absolutely the right place at the right time as it pertains to the internet and consumer shopping habits. So guess what? Success? off the charts. And you can say the same to a slightly lesser degree of any Fortune 500 company executive right down to your local business owner. Really all of corporate America, all successful in different measures through different combinations of talent and luck. I can imagine a really talented business person with virtually no luck still having a really good career, but I can't imagine a doctor with no talent and a lot of luck being allowed anywhere near a scalpel. But health insurance is expensive and you take what you can get. And then there's this side of the spectrum, where I and so many of my friends reside.
The game is flawed.
You're damn right it is, but what can we do about it? I promise I'll get there. But first, I have tried to force professions from this side of the spectrum onto myself over the years, thinking that for the very reasons that we've covered, if I was able to cultivate the talent for one of these, a high enough TQ, a pretty successful and reliable career path would be laid out in front of me. But for dozens of psychological reasons, which probably warrant their own video,
So your parents must be so proud.
I have gravitated towards this end of the spectrum. And at this end, well, it's the goddamn Wild West.
And what's that for?
For making me nervous.
Over here live jobs like writer, musician, dancer, painter, comedian, filmmaker, and probably many more where success, again, success is relative, but I think we can all agree over here that success means creating meaningful work that breaks through your close friends or family and reaches a broader, larger audience and allows you to pay your mortgage or rent. And in these fields, that is largely and sadly dependent on your LQ. Now remember, I'm not saying that Tiger Woods level or Jeff Bezos level talent doesn't exist here.
Turn down the lights. My love has come along.
Put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead.
I'm saying that these folks, without what was essentially a game show, may still be singing in your local Nashville sports bar. Because down here, talent has the least amount of value. It still matters, it just matters far less. And there's one field that exists farthest to the right on this chart. Can you guess what it is? Go ahead and write your answer in the comments. I'll give you a second. Okay, how many people wrote
Acting!
Genius!
Thank you!
down here, it's actually possible to be in movies and be the star of your own TV show with a borderline non-existent TQ, if your LQ is high enough. For those of you who don't know, Matthew McConaughey actually met the producer of Dazed and Confused at a hotel bar. Chris Pratt waited tables in Hawaii and served, you guessed it, a movie producer who asked him to come to LA and audition for his first feature movie. Angus Cloud was literally just walking down the street in Manhattan when he was approached by a casting director. Jason Statham was just working out at a gym when he was spotted by a modeling agent who introduced him to Guy Ritchie. And Harrison freaking Ford worked as a painter in Malibu for some successful writers, and they introduced him to, a producer who introduced him to George Lucas. Now, talented guys, yes, of course, all of them, but no more talented than any of the actors you see listed on the playbill at your local theater production. The only difference, super high LQs. Sidebar, I wonder how many people from the middle and especially the right side of this spectrum would admit just how much luck played a role in their success. I don't know, that's why it's a sidebar. I bet your grandma knows the names of about 15 actors, 5 of which are probably from this century. And I bet you could name 30, maybe 40 if I gave you a few hours. But did you know that there are about 160,000 members of the Screen Actors Guild and tens of thousands more who will never get enough work to even qualify for membership?
These are their stories.
Let me describe what life is like for the other 99.9% of actors out there. Let's take a hypothetical actor. Let's call him me. And let's watch him audition for a hypothetical role in a hypothetical Emma Stone movie. By the way, please understand this is for a very small role. Absolutely will not be a life-changing job. You know when you're watching your favorite show like White Lotus or Severance or Succession, and one of the stars pulls up to a fancy restaurant and they flip their keys to the valet attendant and they say something like, "Take good care of her." And the valet attendant goes, "Yes, ma'am, right away, ma'am." That's what I'm talking about. The valet attendant. This is called a day player, and it simply means they got a line or two in a network show or Hollywood movie. They made 2 times more than they would have made that day waiting tables or bartending after they pay their agent's fee and taxes, and they got a good IMDb credit for their acting resume, and of course something to post on Instagram. Here's how it goes down.
Round 1, fight!
Around 2,000 regional actors, because a role this small is going to hire locally, set up their phone on a $10 tripod and recorded themselves. Alan, 6 feet tall, able to work as a local.
Take good care of her.
Oh, wait. Let me stop already. To get an audition like this, you have to have an agent. Agents tend to only sign actors with decent credits, but it's really hard to get decent credits without an agent, so yeah, good luck already. Remember,
The game is flawed.
but against all odds, you did a little local theater, trained at a really expensive acting school, did every student short film you could find, and then auditioned for the agent. And congratulations, you got one, and now you have an audition for Best Supporting Valet Attendant.
Take good care of her.
Yes, ma'am. Right away, ma'am. Okay, so I've sent my audition into the casting director's assistant, most likely, because a role this small in the first round is not going straight to the casting director. So the casting director's assistant sifts through 2,000 first round auditions, or maybe they don't, I don't know. Maybe they just watch 200 and move on from there. But good news for me, great news actually, my audition stood out. Somehow, I guess I kind of looked like a valet attendant, or maybe the assistant had mustard on their sandwich that day and I just had that indigestion kind of vibe. I popped just enough on camera to register as an actual human being, but not too much to take away from Emma Stone, who's going to be throwing me her keys when she pulls up in the hero car. Congratulations to me, I've been called back. In other words, I've been asked to submit a second audition. Time to call my mom.
Alrighty then.
Hey mom, do you remember that audition I had for the valet attendant in that new Emma Stone movie?
Honey? Oh my god. Alan, that's so great. Let me go tell your father. Alan booked that role for the valet person. What? I said he booked...
Mom,
Yes, honey.
I got a call back for it, which means they liked the first audition, they want to see a second one.
Round 2, fight!
Me and maybe 50 others out of an original 2,000 get to submit a second audition. Or maybe if we're lucky, we get to go to a callback in person. Even before COVID, most roles this small would just be booked straight from self-tapes. So I submit a second audition. It's probably just another really small scene from the script so I can show them some range. Did you enjoy your meal? And will this all be on one check or separate? I send in the second audition, start refreshing my email every 90 seconds. 2 weeks go by, nothing. And after all that, 2,000 actors with diverse backgrounds and lives and hopes and dreams and friends and moms and rent to pay, dreaming of booking this tiny, little, non-life-changing role, the casting director, probably because the shoot date was coming up soon and they just had to pick someone, chose me. Mom.
Hold on 1 second, honey. I'm putting your father's socks on for him.
What? Why?
Oh, he hurt his back weed whacking.
He's 75 years old. He shouldn't be weed whacking.
Well, there's nobody around that can help. I mean, you moved 1,000 miles away, so...
Mom!
Yes, honey.
I booked that valet role. And she's all excited and she tells all her friends and they organize a little watch party for the night the movie drops on Netflix. Oh, and on the day of actually filming the scene, I'm a perfect professional. I know my lines, all 5 of them. I catch the keys every time Emma Stone throws them to me. And the director even possibly shakes my hand when I'm wrapped. But more likely, the second assistant director shakes my hand. And it turns out he was just reaching for the key card that I used to get into the hair and makeup trailer. But I don't care. I shake that thing for a socially unacceptable amount of time. A shake that somehow says both, this was no big deal, and also, please, please, please hire me again. And when the movie finally comes out, my mom and all their friends order pizza and they sit in anticipation and my scene gets cut. Okay, so what can we do? See, I told you I'd get there. What can we do if we find ourselves choosing, or in most cases, being chosen by this end of the professional spectrum? The way I see it, we have 2 choices. Number 1, we can quit.
I quit.
Sure, we can say, hey, I never got that lucky break. I was just never quite in the right place at the right time, or I just never met that one person who could help propel my career forward. Or maybe I just wasn't talented enough to transcend my complete lack of luck and ride my TQ to the success that I craved. That's an option. But
my father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that that was possible for him. And so he made a conservative choice. Instead, he got a safe job as an accountant. And when I was 12 years old, he was let go from that safe job. I learned many great lessons from my father, not the least of which was that you can fail at what you don't want. So you might as well take a chance on doing what you love.
Or we can change our perspective on the whole thing. We can stop comparing ourselves to super successful creative professionals, and instead we can use them as inspiration. We can mathematically understand the element of luck in the success stories that we hear and read about. We can stop second-guessing our own talent, as we now know that we simply picked a career path that values it less. And we can stop worrying or wondering when that lucky break might come, and we can just keep creating. We can put our heads down and we can make stuff and do stuff. And if it somehow connects with a larger audience, then that's great. And if it doesn't, that's okay too, because I honestly don't think we should be creating for a larger audience. We should create to entertain our parents, to entertain our spouses, our friends, our brothers, our sisters, our kids. But most of all, we should create because we have ideas that we want, that we need to express. And guess who finds those ideas interesting? We do.
Hang on, I'm getting a little worked up here.
So keep creating.
Your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing.
Keep chipping away. See my previous video for more about chipping away. And to all my friends who wish to turn their artistic passions into a career, whether you do or you don't, remember.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
My stomach. Not your line yet, pal. Accountant? Accountant. Accountant. Symbiotic. Basinger. Bassinger. McConaughey. And a cut for Pete.